My name's Széll. I'm 53 years old and I live in London. And I started losing my sight. Well, I was diagnosed as having retinitis pigmentosa when I was 19 years old, and my sight disappeared gradually over the next 30 or so years, so that now I can't even see the fingers in front of my face. I struggled on with reading visually as long as I could, but about 10 years ago I had to admit defeat and made the transition to audiobooks. But it has to be said, I never thought that at my advanced age and with my very gnarly fingers from doing a lot of rock climbing, I'd ever be able to do Braille. As I was really embarrassed into learning Braille because I was at a climbing conference this time last year up in Sheffield, and it was just after the lockdowns, so there weren't very many people around, and I got into an empty hotel lift, and whereas normally I could feel the embossed numbers on the lift buttons, this one only had Braille. And I had no idea which floor I was going to. There was nobody there to ask. And I suddenly realised that the thing that was there specifically for people like me, Braille, was something that I couldn't access. And it just made me feel as if I was missing a trick. So I thought I'd better get to grips with it, and started looking around for an online course. I heard a feature on RNIB Connect Radio about a free course run by Braille for Beginners, and I thought, well, it's free and it's online, so if, as I suspected, I was completely hopeless at it, then I could just drop out of the class without having to sort of stand up in a classroom and shuffle my way to the door. I could just sort of stop the Zoom meeting and leave and nobody would know any better. The course was run by Dave and Mel and Ben, but Mel was our primary teacher. And I think what was really nice is that she's blind herself. She's clearly taught lots of people over the years. So she knows all the questions and foibles and difficulties that we're probably going to experience. And she's just very calm. She's a brilliant, brilliant teacher. So I finished the course in March, and I knew all the alphabet in uncontracted Braille, and I knew all the punctuation. And so I ordered a couple of books from the RNIB, a couple of Braille short stories, and I've just worked my way very slowly through them. It's more of a jog than a sprint, but I'm probably doing about an hour's practice a night now, and reading 3 or 4 pages of each of these short stories and really enjoying it. It's actually, I've realised, the only time I get to read silently. I've got so used to having audiobooks read to me, or having my screen reader talking to me, or my phone, and it's quite intrusive. I mean, obviously it's very helpful having all that usable technology, but actually to be able to sit down in the quiet and read a book again is a pleasure I really, really missed since giving up reading a decade or so ago. And you can imagine the voices of the characters in your own head rather than having them recreated by a narrator. I find it very calming at the end of the day. I think it's really helped with my kind of general sense of independence. There's a lot of things that I can just pick up that do have Braille writing on them, and I don't have to call my wife to say, oh, is that a tube of arnica or a tube of antiseptic? And it's a game. I mean, it's decoding in many ways, and I always like doing crossword puzzles and acrostics and stuff like that. And for me, it's just a bit of code breaking, and it makes me feel, I suppose it makes me feel that I've got a skill that none of my sighted peers have. And that's actually quite a nice reversal from being the blind guy in a room and having to rely on other sighted people to give me a hand.